I've got my life in such a mess, and I don't know what to do. How can I live in this old world and be in love with two?
Polyamory encourages consciously choosing and designing your own relationship structure. Because there are comparatively few models of successful poly relationships in a society that claims monogamy is the only acceptable choice, every individual and group has to make up the rules as they go. This allows for a great deal of diversity and a mindset that everyone should find whatever works for them, even if it doesn't work that way for anyone else. Because of that, there's the spectrum of relationships that we just saw, and there's a wide variety of configurations that a poly relationship can look like. A couple, or a dyad, is the basic building block of all other configurations. This is a romantic relationship between two people. A V is a relationship that includes three people, where one person has a romantic relationship with two partners, but those partners do not have a romantic relationship with each other. The person who has the two partners is called the hinge, or the pivot. The two partners are called the wings. They are metamors to each other, since they are their partner's other partner. The relationship between the two metamors can range from very close friends to never having met or spoken, as long as they are both aware of the arrangement and agree to it. A triad is a relationship that includes three people, but all three people have a romantic relationship to each other. An N or a Z is a group of four people where there are two sets of couples, and one person from each couple is romantically connected to the other. Just like in a V, the individuals who are not romantically linked together should know about everyone else, but they may not ever have met, or they may all be friends with each other. This is quite common in situations where each set of couples are comprised of one monogamous person and one polyamorous person, and then the poly individuals from each couple find each other. A quad is a group of four people, where each individual considers himself romantically involved to all three of the other people, and the group as a whole thinks of themselves as a family, just like the triads, but with four people instead of three. Now, in a dyad, where we have two people, there's one relationship, that which is between the two individuals. Do you know how many relationships we have in a triad? There are four relationships. There's a relationship between each of the three individuals, and then there's also the relationship between the three people all together as a group. Even if everyone is romantically involved with everyone else, there will be a different dynamic when they all get together versus when they're interacting one-on-one. Think of your two closest friends. Think of how your relationship with each of them is different and similar to each other. How is their relationship to each other? How are things different or similar when all three of you get together? If you don't have two close friends who are friends with each other, think of two of your siblings, or cousins, or your parents, or your spouse and your best friend, or any two other people in your life who might have their own relationship with each other in addition to their relationship with you. The balance between all three individuals' needs and wants in your relationships, for each dyad and as a group, is very similar to what it's like to operate in a triad. Now, how many relationships are there in a quad? There are 6 sets of couplings here, and one big group, so that should make 7, right? Well, there are also 4 triplings, making 11 total relationship dynamics. Polyamory can get very complicated very quickly. This is what's called an intimate network. This is my personal romantic network. Our family name is the amorphous squiggle, which is a math term meaning an ever-changing random shape. We fall in the middle of that polyfidelity free agent spectrum, where each individual is allowed to make up his own mind about adding new partners and other major decisions, but we all value our existing relationships very highly and consider everyone else's feelings as much as possible, usually consulting those directly affected before making any kind of life-altering decisions. Everyone involved has a different relationship agreement with everyone else, but we all tend to want to be involved with people who have similar relationship requirements to our own. Not everyone here has met everyone else, but we all know about each other, and most of us are good friends with each other independently of our shared partners. The size and diversity of my network is not actually very common in polyamory. Most groups rarely get beyond a handful of people who are romantically connected to each other. Anyone want to take a stab at how many possible relationships there are in a group this size? In a group of 18 adults, there are 262,125 possible relationship configurations, if you assume that everyone could have a relationship with everyone else. Know how I came up with that number?
I don't know what to do. I want your girlfriend to be my, I want your girlfriend to be my, I want your girlfriend to be my girlfriend.